You ate a chocolate bar rich in carbohydrate and your digestive system breaks down into simplest form, that is glucose. Have you ever wondered what happens to that glucose? Hello guys, this is Rahul and welcome to our channel Doctors to Be. Among various processes under carbohydrate metabolism, today we shall discuss about glycolysis. So glycolysis is a series of reaction in which glucose is converted into pyruvate and lactate with production of ATP. And a major important point of glycolysis is that it operates both in aerobic conditions and anaerobic conditions. So let's write that glycolysis can be defined as series of reactions converting glucose into pyruvate and lactate. Okay, pyruvate in case of aerobic condition and lactate in case of anaerobic conditions. Okay, converting with production of ATP and being operated in both aerobic and anaerobic conditions. Okay, anaerobic conditions. So as I mentioned earlier, aerobic condition, they give glucose is converted into pyruvate. Okay, one molecule of glucose is converted into two molecules of pyruvate. Okay, how two molecules we'll discuss while discussing about the chain reactions, discussing about the reactions. And in anaerobic condition, glucose gives lactate. Okay, now let's discuss about the important aspects or features of glycolysis. So let's get into it. So first, it occurs in all the cells of the body. Okay, glycolysis occurs in all the cells of the body, and the enzyme required for this pathway are present on the cytosomal fraction. Okay, occurs in all cells of body, and enzymes required for this pathway are present in cytosomal fraction. Okay, so we discussed the first aspect. Now the second feature or aspect is that it occurs, glycolysis, okay, occurs in both aerobic and anaerobic conditions. Aerobic and anaerobic conditions. Okay, and when what it gives, in which condition, we have already discussed. Now let's talk about the energies, or that is the amount of ATP, number of ATP. Aerobic will give 8 ATPs, and in anaerobic condition, when it undergoes anaerobic condition, it operates in anaerobic condition, it will give 2 ATP. How? We'll discuss while discussing about the energetics of glycolysis. Okay, third point, tissues like RBC, cornea, okay, and lens. These are devoid of mitochondria, and the main source for energy for these tissues is glycolysis. Okay, so lack mitochondria and major and the source. So source of energy is glycolysis. Obviously, energy is glycolysis. Okay, and next, so during strenuous exercise, what happens is inhalation of oxygen is not adequate. We don't inhale adequate oxygen. So in those anaerobic conditions, glycolysis operates anaerobically, providing uninterrupted supply of energy to the skeletal muscles. Okay, provides uninterrupted energy to skeletal muscles during strenuous exercise. Okay, in these conditions we have less intake of oxygen, less oxygen inhalation. So it can supply ATP, it can energy to the skeletal muscles operating through anaerobic condition during anaerobic pathway, and the energy supply is not interrupted. Okay, then the next important aspect is brain depends on glucose for energy. Okay, so glucose for energy. The next important aspect is that intermediates of glycolysis, they take part in the formation of amino acids and fats. Okay, intermediates of this are useful for fat and amino acid production. Okay, and last important factor or important aspect is that reversible reactions. Okay, the reversible reactions, when we will discuss about the chart, when we will discuss the chain reactions in the glycolysis, we will know that there are various reversible reactions, and these reversible reactions involve in glyconeogenesis. Okay, so what is glyconeogenesis? Is that gluconeogenesis is the synthesis of glucose from non-carbohydrate precursors. Okay, so we'll have a separate video on gluconeogenesis. For now, keep in mind that reversible reactions of glycolysis involve in gluconeogenesis. Okay, reversible reactions involve in gluconeogenesis. Okay, gluconeogenesis. If mistakenly I have spelled glyconeogenesis, so please correct it, gluconeogenesis. Okay, and what gluconeogenesis is? Production of glucose from non-carbohydrate precursors. Okay, we'll discuss about this in a separate video. For now, these are the important aspects of glycolysis. Okay, now we shall discuss about the chain reaction or the reactions in glycolysis. Reactions of glycolysis. So all the reactions in glycolysis can be divided into three distinct phases, and these phases are the energy investment phase, first one, then we have splitting phase, and then we have energy generation phase. Okay, so while discussing the reactions, we'll point the phases. Okay, we'll point out the phases. This phase is the energy investment phase, and which is energy harvesting or energy generation phase. Okay, so let's get started. So coming to the reactions, while writing in exam paper, you can show the steps of the figure. You can show a figure as I show over here, and you can write the steps. Okay, step number 1, phosphorylation of glucose into glucose 6-phosphate. 2, then glucose 6-phosphate is converted into fructose 6-phosphate or isomerized into fructose 6-phosphate with the help of this enzyme, and consumption of ATP or without consumption ATP, like this. Okay, what you'll do is you'll draw the table, or you'll draw the reactions. Okay, so you'll show the figure of the reactions, table of the reactions, and then you'll write in points. Point 1, glucose is converted to glucose 6-phosphate. 2, glucose 6-phosphate is converted into fructose 6-phosphate. Okay, with the help of these enzymes. This will show the process. Okay, so let's get started. So obviously glucose is our first step. So glucose is getting converted. Okay, it's the glucose is phosphorylated into glucose 6-phosphate. Phosphorylized into glucose. Yeah, one thing, I may not fit all the reactions may not fit in one page, or I mean one at once, so I'll try to split them. So please don't get confused, because I need to write the enzymes so that it's clear. Glucose 6-phosphate, phosphorized, yes or no? Phosphate is being added, so it is phosphorylized into glucose 6-phosphate. So with the help of enzyme hexokinase or glucokinase. Okay, an enzyme involved is hexokinase or glucokinase. And when do these take part, we'll discuss while discussing about the differences between hexokinase and glucokinase. For now, remember glucokinase. Okay, for now remember it that glucose is phosphorylized into glucose 6-phosphate with the help of enzyme hexokinase or glucokinase, and with consumption of 1 ATP. So this is the first reaction where 1 ATP is consumed. Okay, so this is energy spending phase or energy investment phase. Okay, so this is the first thing, and have special attention on the ATP used. Okay, so this is the first reaction. How will you write in the paper for exam sheet? You'll complete the table, and reaction number first, glucose is phosphorylized or glucose is converted into glucose 6-phosphate by the enzyme hexokinase glucokinase with consumption of 1 ATP. Okay, so you'll write in this way. Now the second reaction is this. I am giving a single arrow for irreversible reactions, and I'll give this type of reaction for the reversible, this type of arrows symbol for the reversible reactions. Okay, so don't get confused, and this is very important to figure out the reversible reactions and irreversible reactions, which will help you to during gluconeogenesis. Okay, so first step is irreversible stage. In glycolysis, the first step, third step, and the last step, these 3 steps are irreversible, other steps are reversible. Okay, so keep in mind, first, third, and last, these are irreversible, other are reversible. Okay, so now glucose 6-phosphate, now it is isomerized or converted into fructose 6-phosphate. Okay, and the enzyme involved, with the help of enzyme, you can write same language on your own. The main thing should be that we should be able to understand it and make the supervisor also understand. Okay, so this is a reversible reaction, fructose 6-phosphate with the help of enzyme phospho hexo isomerase. Okay, glucose 6-phosphate is converted into fructose 6-phosphate with the help of enzyme phosphohexoisomerase. No ATP consumption. Now the third step is This is also irreversible reaction, as I told you earlier. Now this fructose 6 phosphate, okay, fructose 6 phosphate is getting converted into fructose 1,6. I know, if I guess you know the basic laws, okay, 1,6 of writing, naming the compounds. Fructose 1,6 bisphosphate. Phosphate is being added, again it is phosphorylized, so obviously ATP is used. 1 ATP is again consumed over here, okay. So keep a note on this ATP consumed. So we till now we consumed 2 ATP, we invested 2 ATP. So this, from the first to the reaction number third, this is the energy investment phase. You are investing 2 ATP, yes or no? You invested 2 ATP, so this is the energy investment stage. So energy investment. Energy investment phase. Now the second phase is the splitting phase, yes or no? So the fructose 1,6 bisphosphate, oh I forgot to mention the enzyme, okay. Fructose 6 phosphate is converted into fructose 1,6 bisphosphate by consumption of 1 ATP with the help of enzyme phosphofructokinase, okay. Phosphofructokinase. So in other places where I have to mention this enzyme phosphofructokinase, I'll use PFK, okay. So please note this down so that you will not get confused what is PFK, where from where did it came. So okay, phosphofructokinase with the help of enzyme phosphofructokinase. Now splitting phase. Fructose 1,6 bisphosphate is converted into 3 glyceraldehyde, sorry, glyceraldehyde 3 phosphate, okay, is converted into glyceraldehyde 3 phosphate and dihydroxyacetone. Hydroxyacetone phosphate, okay. Now you have to pay attention on this step, because previously I told that one glucose molecule is giving 2 pyruvate molecules, okay. So why it is, we'll discuss, you will find it over here. So glyceraldehyde 3 phosphate is converted into glyceraldehyde 3 phosphate dihydroxyacetone phosphate with the enzyme aldolase, okay. Aldolase, aldolase, okay, with the enzyme aldolase. Now this dihydroxyacetone phosphate is converted into, okay, this is reversible reactions, okay, these are reversible reactions. So please, so if somewhere I give a sign of irreversible reaction, please remember, in the process of glycolysis only first, third and the last reactions are irreversible, other reactions are reversible, okay. First irreversible, second was reversible, third is irreversible and the last one is irreversible, okay. Others are reversible, so please don't get confused. Now this dihydroxyacetone is getting acetone phosphate gets converted into glyceraldehyde 3 phosphate, yes or no? Okay, gets converted, okay, and with the help of enzyme phosphotriose isomerase, okay. In the second reaction phosphohexoisomerase, phosphotriose triose isomerase, okay. So one thing over here I forgot, right, is phosphohexose isomerase. Okay. And this dihydroxyacetone phosphate is getting converted into glyceraldehyde 3 phosphate with the enzyme, with the help of enzyme phosphotriose isomerase. So this reaction, these two reactions are the reactions of the splitting phase, okay. These are the reactions of splitting phase. So now why two molecules? Let's pay attention. Glucose, one molecule of glucose, yes or no, it's converted into glucose 6 phosphate, then again one molecule of fructose 6 phosphate, then one molecule of fructose 1,6 bisphosphate. Over here it is, this product is splitting into two other products. Fructose 1,6 bisphosphate is getting splitted into two different products. They are dihydroxyacetone phosphate, one molecule of dihydroacetone phosphate, one molecule of glyceraldehyde 3 phosphate. This again, now the dihydroxyacetone phosphate is again getting converted into glyceraldehyde 3 phosphate. So from now onwards, from this reaction we will have two molecules of glyceraldehyde 3 phosphate, yes or no? One molecule is directly coming from the due to the splitting of fructose bisphosphate into glyceraldehyde, and one molecule is coming from due to the conversion of dihydroxyacetone phosphate. Now we are having two molecules of glyceraldehyde 3 phosphate. Okay, now this glyceraldehyde 3 phosphate gets converted into 1,3 bisphosphoglycerate, that is two molecules. Now any other products, now below this, after glyceraldehyde 3 phosphate, now other reactions giving other products will give two molecules, because two molecules of glyceraldehyde 3 phosphate are getting converted, yes or no? So please focus this. Why I am saying two molecules? Because this will be useful while deriving the energetics. Okay, and it is very essential to understand energetics. Got it? How two molecules? Fructose 1,6 bisphosphate is converted into dihydroxyacetone phosphate, and which is converting into glyceraldehyde 3 phosphate. So one molecule direct splitting, other molecule conversion of dihydroxyacetone phosphate into glyceraldehyde 3 phosphate. Okay, so these are the two phases: energy investment phase and splitting phase. In the next video we shall discuss about the energy generation phase. Okay.